Hello there friends, and welcome to another video about WordPress customization and WordPress development. So in this video we are going to look at post formats and see what we can do with that. So what is post formats? Well, it's used to customize the look of your posts, of your individual posts. But you can only use a post format from a predefined list. Okay, so you can't make a custom post format. And also important to remember, if you, for example, buy a theme or download an existing theme, no theme is required to support every format, or don't even need to support a single of these post formats. So it's up to the individual theme developer if they want to include post formats. So you can use the following predefined formats. So first one is aside, then you have gallery, link, image, quote, status, video, audio, and chat. So these are the ones that you can choose from. And use the standard format, because there is a standard format as well, is used as a default. So if you don't set a post format, the standard format is used. Also, if you would set an invalid format, then it would automatically go to the standard post format. So in order to add post formats to your theme, you have to use the add theme support, and you have to put the hook post formats, and then an array with the formats that you want to use. So for example, aside, gallery, link, image, quote, and so on. One important thing to know as well is that the init hook has to be called before we use the add theme support. And that goes for all add theme supports. The hook init needs to be called before. All right, so let's take a look at how to do this with a few examples. So here I am at the back end in the file structure of my theme, and the files we're gonna use here today is mainly uh, files we're gonna create in the template parts, and then the front page, and we're also we're gonna add our theme support in the functions dashboard.php. And these are files that I created in an earlier video. So if you are not sure how to do that, yeah, check out my earlier video about the file structure and how to set up a template theme. And we're also gonna style some of my posts in the CIY style.css, and that's custom style sheet. And I also have a video on how to do that you can check out. So that's pretty much it. And on the front end, we just have this hello from front page.php. And it's this page here, front page.php. So let's get started here. So what we need to do first is let's have a look at the back end, okay, on our WordPress installation. And as you can see, we have a couple of posts here. If I add a new one, you can see here on the right side here in the side menu, there's no option for post formats. So we need to add that. And as I told you earlier in this video, we need to use a function, and we're going to put that in our functions-dashboard.php. Now you can put it in the functions.php. Then just if you put it here, just put it in here. But if you don't, use the functions.php and create your own file, like I'm going to do. I'm going to create this functions-dashboard.php. Then you have to include that one in your functions.php file. So you just do require and get template directory, and then the location of your file. Yeah, as I said before, I have a video on how to do that, so you can check out a previous video if you're not sure. All right, so let's head over to our functions dashboard.php. So, as I told you before, we have to include the init hook before we add any add theme support. So let's look at an example here. If I would add theme support before the init hook, so remember it's add theme support, and we use the hook of post format, and with a post format, post, oops, not that one, formats, then an array, and we are going to use let's include all of these various theme supports, just to, sorry, not theme support, but let's use all of these post formats for an example. So let's do array like that, and then we have as a string aside, then a comma to separate, and then another string, and we're gonna add a gallery, then comma, and then link, and then image, then we had quote, then we have status, and then we have called video, then audio files. Example, if you have a podcast, then chat like this, and then semicolon at the end, and let's save it. Let's refresh, and let's also refresh here on this page. All right, so we got the post format right here. Okay, that's pretty neat. Now let's move on here. Let's see. Let's actually add a post with title aside, and in this side, just going to actually get some dummy text, lorem ipsum, and let's just get a little text. Don't need much here. Let's do this one perhaps. That should oops, should be enough. And let's add here, and in document let's choose aside, and that's it. So let's publish this. All right, now we don't have anything on a front end because we need to add the loop. All right, so let's add the loop here. We're just going to do a simple, very simple loop where we do have the content. So let's open up our front page, right? And under hello from front page, actually I'm inside the div of a container. I'm just going to jump into PHP and then do the loop. If you're not sure about the loop and what that is, I have a previous video about the loop that you can check out. So I'm just going to do if have posts function, and then we just going to output, I guess, the content perhaps. Yeah, let's output the content. Uh, content like this. There we go, and then let's just and the whole thing here. Post. Oh, sorry, we need to do while loop, of course. Have, let's go posts, and then the post like this, semicolon at the end, and then now let's bring in the content, and let's also bring in the title. Title like this. Okay, and then let's end this whole thing. Let's make it a little bit better looking. Let's indent that, and then I also do an else statement. So if there are no posts, display this. There are no posts, and if you watch my previous video, this is nothing new for you. It shouldn't be, at least. And if like that. And next, let's close off our PHP tag like this. Hit save, and let's go to our front end. All right, so we have not awesomely looking posts here. So here we have the new post aside. All right, so this one looks exactly the same as the other ones. So let's take a look at the 2020 theme. Go to appearance, and back end themes, and let's look at 20. Let's see, 2020 there, right? Let's activate this one. So let's show you the example, and let's refresh. All right, so as you can see here, they actually, if you look at the back end, they actually don't support post formats. If I remember this correctly, and as you can see, there are no options for post formats. And remember what I said, no theme is required to use post formats. In fact, most people actually prefer putting up separate, like standard pages or custom pages instead, or you can just style your own posts different ways. But if you have posts with different media, then yeah, this is a good way to make them stand out a little bit. All right, so let's head back here to our appearance and our themes, and let's take a look at another theme. Let's actually take a look at Astra theme. So I'm going to search for a theme. Let's add new, and let's search theme. Let's do one of the most common ones, most popular, which is the Astra theme. This one here. So let's install this. And after installing, let's activate it, and let's take a look on what it looks like. So all right, so activate right there, and let's have a look at the back end, and let's take a look at our posts. Let's look at the aside, and yeah, as you can see, this one do have post formats support here. Okay, so if we look at the front page and refresh, okay, so this is the post with post format of aside. As you can see, they don't include a title on this one, so we can do the same. In fact, if you go to the codex, they actually recommend, if you use the post format aside, exclude the title. So now it looks a little bit more like a I guess a Facebook chat in some way. You can do whatever you want, of course. So before we do anything, let's go back to appearance and themes. Let's reactivate our theme, which is in my case YouTube CIY. So let's activate it. and let's go back to our front end and refresh. So we're using the same thing here, right? Okay, so let's head back to our back end. So there are a few things we need to do. So in this file from page.php, we are going to actually remove the title and the content, and instead on the front page we're going to use something called get template part. All right, so this one takes in first parameter of where we can find our template parts. So I have created a folder already in the root of our theme called template parts. So I suggest you do the same if you follow along. So create a folder and name it template parts in the root of your theme. All right. So in this template parts folder, we are going to create a file called content.php. We're going to do that a little bit later. First, let's tell WordPress where to look for this file. So we got template hyphen parts backslash content. So content is the file that we haven't created just yet. And then we need to use a WordPress function called get post format. Okay, so and this will tell WordPress to look for a special format files. So if we end it with a semicolon, and let's go back here to our content, sorry, our functions, no, template parts. Okay, and create that file. So let's first start with content.php. Okay, so and in this content.php, I'm going to put in our standard look. Okay, so if we don't put in any specific post format, it will show the standard post format. Okay, and another video I had a style already, so I'm just going to do an a tag. Sorry, like this. Okay, and of course I want to link to a post so we can read the whole post. So I'm going to use the permalink function, and in this one there, and let's close it off like this. And here I want to display first, let's see, I can use an image header. Okay, so that's a CSS class, image header. And then let's do, I want to show the post thumbnail. So this is a normal loop functions to call various elements from our posts. So that's the for the thumbnail, if you have one, and then we need one for the title. And in this one, I'm going to do an inline style, so with h1, and I'm going to call it my header. Like so. And we'll also need to close it off. Ending tag there. Semicolon at the end, and close the PHP tag. And then we need an excerpt. Actually, I don't need, I will need to do that, but let's do PHP and then the excerpt. Okay, and let's save it like that, and then close off the a tag like this. All right, so let's save this one. Also, let's save the front page, and let's go to our front end, and let's refresh. All right, so the styling for the other ones taken effect. Now let's do something with aside here, this post, with the post format of aside. So what we need to do is we need to create a file called content dash or hyphen content hyphen aside to style all all posts with the post format of aside. So in the same file, template parts, create a new file, call it content hyphen aside.php. All right, so in this file, let's open up the PHP tag, and then I'm going to add an, actually let's do this. Let's do an article. An article, this is an HTML5 tag. And in this article, I'm just gonna do class of post, then a PHP, the ID, just to make it recognizable. So if you want to style this specific post, then you can use the ID as a class. So we also want to link to the rest of the article, so we can read the whole article if we want. So again, to get the link, it's the permalink. Close it off there. And let's see, what else do we need? We need the excerpt. So again, not for PHP tag, then the excerpt, and close it off like this. All right, so that's that. Now we only have the excerpt, so not the title. So this should reflect what we can see on the front page. So let's go back to our front page and refresh. And as you can see, there's no title anymore on the side post. Just a link to the rest of the post. And if you click on this one, you will get to the aside here. And this one is not styled. So you can style separately if you want. So that's that. Now let's head back here to our file structure. So we talked about galleries and other post formats. So I'm just going to go through two more. So I'm going to show you link and gallery. So let's go to our backend and let's create a new post. And this post, I'm going to add a link. Okay, so I'm just gonna name it the title. This is a link, and then down here, let's just add a link. So in the backend, you can use this symbol up here to add it. I'm just gonna do to YouTube. youtube.com. Okay, and open a new tab. Yes, we can do that. And then apply. All right, and then let's go back to the document and let's choose link in this case, right here. Press publish and publish again, and then let's go to front end and let's refresh. Okay, so you got here, this is the link and the whole link. Now, this doesn't look great. So also, what if we could do something cooler? Because if you click here, it will take us to the post, and then click. Now, if we have a link like this, maybe you just want to show the whole link or just the text here, and then if you click here, it will take us directly to youtube.com. That will be a little bit better. So for that, I will create a separate file again. And in this case, we will put that in the template parts again. And this time, we're going to call it content hyphen link and .php. Sorry, content hyphen link .php. Okay, so in this file, I'm going to first do an article tag like this. And yeah, we don't need any classes here. So in here, I'm going to open up PHP tag and then a function. I'm going to call this function CIY underscore show URL. Okay, so in this function, I'm going to bring in a few things that it doesn't have to do anything with post formats. So I'm not going to go through the code too much in detail. So you can just follow along. So I'm just going to use an if statement. So what I want to do is tell WordPress that if this is a link, do this. Okay, if it's not, do something else. All right, so let's first start with an if statement, and I'm going to use exclamation mark preg match, and then I'm going to use piece of code that's quite long, but I will just explain it a little bit later here. So first, let's do that as a string. Then if this is a link, and A is a link, then put in some more things here, not that one. Let's see, I had it somewhere there. Okay, and then so the href equals like so, and then dot plus I. And I know this one might be a little bit confusing, but don't worry too much about it for now. And let's close that one off. Okay, so that's that. And next, after that, we need to tell WordPress to get, in this case, get the content. So get the content will tell WordPress that we want the information without any style or formatting, just the link as it is. Okay, and then the last parameter we're going to use is a variable that will be turned into an array to collect all the links. All right, so after this one, comma and links. Okay, that's that. Next, let's move on, and let's see if this happens. If it doesn't match, return false. And you might have noticed the exclamation mark here before preg match. So an exclamation mark in programming means not. Okay, so this preg match is that it needs to match. It tells WordPress to look for an href, a link. If it doesn't match a link, then it's going to return false. Okay, it's not going to show us anything. So if not matching this, if it's not a link, we return false. Right? If it does, however, return. And what we want to do here is we want to match the raw format of the URL or the link without any formatting. Okay, and to do that, we're going to use a function called escape or esc underscore url underscore raw, and then we're going to call the variable links like this, and then we need to tell it's going to it's an array, as I told you, link, so we need to grab the first one, so put in a 1 there, and then semicolon to end, and then below here outside the function we can call the function in a variable. So it's gonna call this variable link, and note that this link variable is different from this links variable. So the function was ciy underscore show underscore url semicolon at the end, and then we need the title, so it's gonna display the title, and we want to display it as an h1 and also as a link, obviously, because we need to click on it and it will redirect us to YouTube itself. href, and in this href we need to call the link, we need to call this whole function here so it understands so it's a link and it will grab the link, the content itself. All right, so we got link, which is this variable here, and then dot there, and that's that. Okay, now I want to if you click on link, I want to open up a new window. Okay, so in that case you can do target equals underscore blank. So this means it will look for it will open up a new page. Close that one there, and then we also need to close our a tag and h1 tag. So again, in a string a and h1 like this, semicolon at the end, and then also let's close our PHP tag like this. Let's hit save and see if it works. So let's go to our front end and let's refresh. So now it says here this is a link, and if we hover over and if you look at the bottom left corner down here, you will see it says youtube.com. So if I click on this one, it will open up a new tab and take us to youtube.com. Right there you go. Nice. Right, so that's the link. Let's finish off, and I know it might be a little bit confusing with the function here, but let's just remember this is if it doesn't match, if it's not a link, and it will grab the content. So if this content and the content again it's this is this link, so if it's not a link like this, it will return false, or you will see an error message, or you won't see anything at all. Okay, and if this match, it will show the link itself. And we're told also later on here that instead of showing the actual link, we want it to be displayed as the title. Okay, as we do here on the front end. So in the front end, it's not this, they will see, you will see this, and this will be hooked with the link or the content, and it will take us to the destination, which is youtube.com. I hope that's somewhat clear. All right. Okay, so let's move on and let's take a look at one more thing. Let's take a look at the gallery. So we're gonna do here first is going to just create a post. So new post. I'm just going to name it gallery, so we know. And here post format, I'm going to choose gallery. And with the new Well, I don't want to say it's new anymore, but with the Gutenberg editor, you can add a gallery here. Well, you could do that in the old editor as well. But what you do is you can just click here, the plus sign, add a block, and here you can actually choose gallery. All right, so we're just gonna do the media library. I do have one, and now you can choose multiple. I'm going to do that. So I'm gonna choose all of these. So I got 5 images. Okay, and that's about it, I think, for now. Let's create a new gallery. All right, so it gives you a lot of options. So caption, you can add captions to every image. I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to do skyline. What's this? It's just laptop, and this is a keyboard, and this is oh, this is a programmer, and this is just a phone. Right, and then insert gallery. Now you can style this pretty well inside the editor, actually. So I'm just going to, this is 5 images. I'm just going to display them all on 5 like this. All right, and then preview, nothing there. Publish and publish again. So that's that. So if we look at our front page, okay, you have the gallery. Okay, for now it's not showing anything here, but what you can do is if you click here on this one, you see the gallery. All right, so let's head back to our, well, let's go back to the front page, and let's bring in the gallery here, the images. So what you need to do is you need to again go into the template parts, new file, and we're going to create a file called content dash gallery dot php. So content hyphen gallery dot php. And in this file, we are going to first just do a section. This is an HTML5 tag. And in this one, we're just going to do an h1 and bring in the title. So open up PHP tags and the underscore title, close it up. And then I need the gallery, the content, the images. So I'm going to create a CSS class. So CIY underscore gallery. Okay, and then I want to show the images, and that's the content because it's in our content field of our post. So the content like this, and then close off the PHP tag like this. This should be enough. So let's refresh. All right, so you can see here you got all the images here. All right, and then you can't click on it and at the moment, so that's something we could add perhaps. So we got the content, the class content. So let's just do an a tag here. Then href, and let's do again the permalink, and then close it off before the ending div. Like this, let's save it, and let's do that. All right, so if you click here, it will take us to the gallery post. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now you could style this. So let's take a look. So I changed, or I added a class. So let's go to our style sheet. See what we can do. Maybe change the size of the images. Let's see. I already did that though. See, gallery ULI. Let's change them to 200 height. And let's do Control S. Let's refresh, and now the image is a little bit bigger, so this is much better. You might wonder, how did I find where to change? So first, I created a class, CI1 underscore gallery, and so this is this class. Now you might wonder where UL and LI comes from. It's if you hit Control Shift I, you get up the developers tool, or the dev tools, and then this sign up here lets you select an element on the page. So I just went down here to image, and let's look for my class. So you can see the class up here, CI1 underscore gallery. All right, and in here we have a UL and then the LI. Okay, so I style the elements here. I style the LI element of this page. So that's how you can do that. All right, now there's a lot more things that you can do with the post formats. For example, you could obviously style inside here the individual posts. So that's another thing you can do. For example, the aside, that is something you can do if you want to make this also look a little bit different inside the post. I think most common is to use, for example, gallery, and to display a few pictures here, or maybe only the title. And then inside the post of the gallery, maybe style the images a little bit better. Yeah, can make them, you hover over the image, get some effects, and so on. All right, so that's that. Yes, I think I've covered the most basic when it comes to post formats. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.